I told you a week or two ago that an indictment was allegedly imminent against former Trump campaign manager Paul Manafort, specifically for his involvement in the Trump-Russia scandal. We now have a Democratic senator, not just any Democratic senator, actually, but one who would know about this because he's on the Senate Judiciary Committee. Connecticut Democrat Richard Blumenthal says he is 99% sure that indictments are coming for both Paul Manafort, Trump's former campaign manager and chairman, and for Michael Flynn, Trump's former national security advisor. Blumenthal says that criminal charges, he believes, are 99% likely against both Manafort and Flynn in the Trump-Russia scandal. He said that Manafort and Flynn are the most prominent, but that there well may be others who also will face criminal charges. CNN's Manu Raju, who's really done pretty good reporting on this story all along, he tweeted yesterday, Roger Stone, who has been a guest on this program before, by the way, Roger Stone says Manafort attorneys have told his attorneys that Manafort expects to be indicted soon. I want to talk about something with you here in a slightly different way. I've talked about the importance of the midterm elections to stop the total control by Republicans of the House, Senate, and White House. I've talked about the importance of the 2018 election sort of as a positioning election for 2020. I've talked about it as an opportunity to put a halt to the possibility of making our healthcare system even worse through the passage of the types of proposals that fortunately so far have failed by Republicans, all the legislative concerns. The Trump-Russia story is actually another situation that may well be impacted by the 2018 midterms. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Trump-Russia could go on for a long time. And I previously gave you the timeline of Watergate and Richard Nixon. And there's every indication that it could be a very long time. Even from the first indictment, it could be years until the entire Trump-Russia scandal is resolved. So the 2018 midterms could actually have a major impact on what happens with Trump-Russia, because depending on whether it's Democrats or Republicans that control the House from 2018 to 2020, depending on whether it's Democrats or Republicans that control the House, the Senate rather, between 2018 and 2020, that could have a major impact on the future of the Trump-Russia investigation, because a Republican-controlled House might react to what is the eventual report from Special Prosecutor Robert Mueller very differently than a democratically controlled House. Same thing with the Senate. So we need to be thinking about 2018 not only because midterms are opportunities for the opposition party to make gains, not only because we need to do everything we can to prevent Donald Trump's harebrained ideas from becoming reality, but also because it could impact whether we eventually actually see justice in the Trump-Russia investigation. And then along these lines, I find it truly stunning that we have a sitting active president of the United States whose former campaign chairman is arguably about to be indicted, whose former national security advisor is also facing criminal indictment. And there are people who either, number one, don't think this is a big deal, number two, think it's fake news, or number three, don't even know about it because the Trump-Russia scandal is barely being mentioned as anything other than a left-wing conspiracy theory on right-wing media. A lot of people don't even know what's going on.
How do you feel, though, about these representatives like Richard Blumenthal and Mark Warner going out there and giving updates on the investigation? I just think that the Republican charge is that this is all a witch hunt and it's all about political posturing, and they kind of validate it. I would just like to see, the investigation run its course and the truth come out as it may.
Yeah, that's a different question than whether we believe Dick Blumenthal, right? I don't think Dick Blumenthal would say that there's a 99% chance of indictment if he doesn't think that there is and if it's not backed by something that he's seen. But there's a fair question there, which is maybe everybody should just let the entire thing run its course.
And if the indictments actually do happen, then you've kind of let the air out of the balloon. I mean, this should be treated as such a big breaking news story, and yet we've already got hints that it's going to happen anyway.
I think it still will be a major breaking news story because a former national security advisor being indicted is still going to be big, but it's a fair point. It's a fair point. And to sort of illuminate this point a little bit more, I want to put up on the screen a slide from one of my lectures in the class I'm teaching at Boston College about what I'm calling informational incongruity. And this is what we're seeing when it comes to Trump-Russia. You can have an issue where everybody is sort of aware of the issue and understands that the issue is a big deal, but they differ on opinions, right? So like most people understand abortion has been a big political issue. There is someone who might think abortion should be legal and safe versus someone who thinks abortion should be illegal. But everybody agrees this is an issue and it's an important issue. Then layer two would be an issue where there is disagreement as to the importance, right? So you might have one side which says gay marriage is a really important issue, and another side that says the importance of gay marriage as a political debate is overblown, meaning we don't even really think that gay marriage is an issue that should be discussed. Layer 3 of informational incongruity, which is a total lack of awareness of the topics that others find important, right? So I have an example here, hypothetical about North Korea, but we are actually seeing such informational incongruity on Trump-Russia that lots of people barely understand the scope of what is going on, and it makes it very difficult to actually have conversations with others when that's the case. So just something to think about. Total informational incongruity going on here.